Oh God. I'm going to say, I am late. That is on me. However, today, ladies and germs, we have victory. As I called it, the video was going to go back up. Did I not say that if Bandai didn't respond within 2 weeks, that the video would go back up, fully monetized? In fact, I believe I said it over and over again. For those who have not noticed, the hilarious failure of Gundam Seed Freedom is live on YouTube.
Oh, God.
Just to prove that I am not on cocaine. There it is. There it is! Oh, and they're crying about it already. They're crying about it already on Twitter. It's hilarious. Hey! Ray, thank you for becoming a member. Membership over. So, I have to say, that makes me pretty happy. And we need to give a special shout out to somebody. Give me just a moment. Let me pull this up. I want to point something out. So I've went ahead and unlisted the video about the video being struck, because now it's not relevant, right? I have a bone to pick with this commenter, the Witchmaster, who said it was good that my video got struck. It's good that somebody at Sunrise, tried to abuse the copyright system to get me shut down. And I promised, when this video gets reinstated, because it has been, I was going to be laughing at you. You dumb fuck. You say this literally a day before it goes back up. You dumb slut. And we are going to continue to trash Gundam Seed for another 2 years. And it's this guy's fault. Or girl's fault. I'm assuming girl. Or it. I don't know. But here's the irony of this. Here's the irony. You know, here's... You're sitting there saying it's a good thing that my channel got in trouble because of copyright. Let's look at their channel, shall we? Oh, hey! It's a rehosting of copyrighted fucking material that you've probably AI upscaled. At some point, you dumb hoe, you're gonna get flagged and your channel's gonna be gone. Because they're over 1,000 subscribers, these are probably monetized, meaning that they are making money from Warner Brothers' copyrighted material. I hope you get sued into the ground, you slut. It's gonna happen, and it's gonna be fucking hilarious when it happens. And you brought it on yourself for mocking somebody else's problems. You're a cunt, just so you know that. Oh my god. But I promised that would happen. But the review is live now. Gundam Seed fans are already malding about it. It's fucking glorious. It's all the people mad at me are fucking Europeans as well. I'm just gonna say this: Europe is not a real place. And Poland is not real. Now I inevitably... This is one thing that... So Europe is the problem, apparently, when it comes to English-speaking Gundam fans. They're the ones that are popularizing Seed, huh? Well, in that particular case, I hope you all get taken over by Russia, because you kind of deserve it. Okay, I'm fucking around. I don't really mean that. Oh my god. Granted, it wouldn't surprise me if Seed fans were a bunch of German teenage girls or Polish teenage girls. What happened? We are celebrating, George. My Gundam Seed Freedom review is back up. According to my metrics, from what I have on YouTube Studio, yeah, the entire continent of countries that can't defend themselves. The video has been back up for almost a couple of hours. It's almost 1,000 views already. It's gonna do well, you know. It's going to struggle at first just because of the fact that, it was basically, struck down because of copyright, so it's probably not going to hit the algorithm immediately. But yes, it's hilarious. The comments are already people... there's already little girls being really mad about what is said in it. Let's read some comments, shall we? In celebration. This is a good one from Billy Bolison 2830. Says, my favorite part about the Cosmic Era's reputation is that despite its success in Japan relative to other shows, in the crossovers like Dynasty Warriors and Super Robot Wars, the other characters actively make fun of Kira. This is true. Master Asia calls him a brat who's carried by his Gundam because he has no real skill, and the Super Robot Wars characters call him out for his BS and praise Shin. Also true. It's like all the games were made by critics of Seed, but they knew the series was too popular not to add in. Come to think of it, Gundam's... This is a very true statement right here. Come to think of it, Seed is basically what fans of Battletech, Macross, Armored Core, Vodums who hate Gundam but have never actually seen it think Gundam is. This could not be, right here, more on the nose. It's true. There are people that I know that are fans of as real, like, things that are as real robot as real robot gets, right? That fucking hate Gundam, and they will often say, like, oh, it's really melodramatic, it's really preachy and things like that. They're thinking of Gundam Seed, because honestly, I've never, of all the, like, I haven't watched Age yet. That'll be done for its own review, but dude, when you watch things like Universal Century or Wing or things like that, they're not really preachy. Not really. You know, people say Gundam Wing is preachy about pacifism, and I'm like, dude, you're not watching the show. Like, just watch the episodes of The Fall of the Sank Kingdom. Like, Relina's worldview is actively being challenged in that fucking shit. You know, it's like, come on, dude, stop being retarded. But victory steak paid for by the tears of Bandai Namco. I will have to buy a steak with the money I make from this video. It's already over 300 views, so it's made at least $1. Let's see. TMS Finn says, as someone who loves Freedom's design and was introduced to anime mostly by Gundam Seed and Destiny, terrible movie. Pure nostalgia bait. Cool visuals, though, although Hathaway's movie totally set my bar way too high for any new Gundam content. Yes, Hathaway, like, makes this look like shit. But then again, Gundam Seed is like, most of its fans are teenage girls. Here's hoping the review stays up this time. Yeah, if I showed Gundam Seed to my sister, this is from you, Leo. Shout out to you, buddy. If I showed Gundam Seed to my sister, she'd probably like it because she was a fan of Twilight and the Kardashians. But I'm a good brother and I want what's best for her. God bless you. Gungrave 6802. The Power of Love part is cringe, and the only time it's ever worked is G Gundam, because at least in that, it's campy as a fuck show that you never take seriously anyway. Yes! It's supposed to be a martial arts drama. And it's set up a lot better. Nothing about Gundam Seed's romances is natural or well written. Nothing about it is natural or well written. Like, the whole thing between Kira and Lacus is quite literally random. Like, it's fucking stupid. It's so bad. They just randomly fall in love when they see each other. It's like, Jesus fucking Christ, man. Thanks for getting this back up. Great video. Cheers. Thank you, Shaggy-O. Can't wait for your take on Cross-Ends. Yep, that one's happening. Let's see here. I don't know how you got through this movie. It took me 3 gin and lemonades and half a bottle of Fireball whiskey to get through it. The video already reached Twitter. Cope Seed Sims. Yeah, we're harding these. I like it, but it's just my Copes saying it. Would you want to forget about it instantly? User says here, correction, Naruto's fan base is teen white girls, but mostly black guys who watch the show on Toonami. That is true. There is a lot of black dudes who really like Naruto, which is that's funny to me because it is written for girls. Fun fact, Fukuda wanted to have a scene where Kira dreams of assaulting Lacus, so yeah. Let's see here. At least some decent gunplay came out of this. That's, maybe. Can you do a Neo Zeon War video? I can't spell today. We will definitely do that in the future. See, this is something I do on a regular basis. I like to interact with my comments. This one is somebody trying to, like... Oh my gosh. There is no solid arc here. I'm sorry, Dolmal. I just put in, my friend, there's no solid arc here. It's nonsensical for the character because he's a Gary Stu. This sort of thing was too little, too late. And that's the thing. Time to troll Seed fans in the comment section. I will say this right now. Mockery of any and all Seed fanboys in the comments is 100% approved by me. Do not harass them, but you can make fun of them. Because you are allowed to do so. That is your right. Because that is conversation. When your buddy has a bad take, you make fun of your buddy's bad take. Like, I do it all the time. And then whenever I have a bad take, my friends do it to me. It is what it is, dude. So, I love what Ray says here. Chelsea watched Seed on her own after I warned her. She literally called me and told me I was right. But yeah, the video is great. But the best part about it is the ending. Oh my god, that ending. The ending, it's so fucking just, it's perfect. It is a perfect ending to that and discussing Gundam Seed. Though now I have to do Stargazer. Because at the end of the video it says I'm going to do Stargazer. I'm just like, god damn it. Hey, Silver Dragoon says, I'm a Macross fan. I have 2 questions. What are some good model kits for Macross? I have no clue. I've never built any. And what is a good entry point for Gundam? I have a whole video on the best entry points for Gundam. But to sum it up, if I have like the 2 best, I would say that'll or the 3 best that'll tell you kind of what Gundam is all about. If you want something more recent, go with Iron-Blooded Orphans. If you want something that's a little bit more philosophy and action heavy, which is a weird combination, I know, but it's great, trust me, Gundam Wing, or just watch the original if you don't mind retro. Those would be my recommendations. And yeah, Stargazer is good. I have seen it already. It's just one of those things where it's like, after all that shit, do I really want to do more Cosmic Era stuff? Do I really? So yes, it is back up. We are back. We are so back. Oh man. There's that neck pop I needed. All right. Let me move the camera over. Also, you can see here, I brought in the Nightingale box. I'm keeping it there to remind me that that's our next kit. as we scoot over. Alright. So, I was actually cleaning the office earlier today, so I need to kind of rearrange some things. I do have something to show you all. So you remember how I was like ready to give up on the reverse wash and buy some fucking some whatchamacallit, some decals and all this stuff. Yeah, I ended up not needing to do that. I did it again and it came out great. I realized the thing about the reverse wash, like technique-wise, is it's all about the angle of the Q-tip that you hold it at. Because if you're not holding it at the right angle, that is what will fuck you up. So, let me show you guys this. No, I didn't waste any money. I didn't end up buying the decals. But here's the waste unit. I reverse washed the gold, touched up the blacks with a Gundam marker. It looks really good. Okay. My chair decided it doesn't want to stay up. Give me just a second. There we go. Alright. Let me go ahead and move my microphone so it's not in my face. Beautiful. We're rocking and rolling. One thing I need to check before we get started. I'm supposed to be having a shipment of a USB-C coming in, but Amazon has said twice in a row that it was going to be delivered today, and they said that yesterday, and it didn't get delivered. So, that's infuriating. Goodness gracious. Thoughts on Final Fantasy 16 coming to PC? I am stoked about it, but I'm not going to be able to buy it for a minute. Because any and all spending money I have for the next month, instead of getting new Gunpla, I spent on Space Marine 2. Right as I say that, Panzernaut puts that comment in. So yeah, I'm very ready for Space Marine 2. I even caved and got the edition that gives you the season pass at a discount. So yeah, I am pretty fucking stoked for that. I really, really liked the first Space Marine, and the second one looks even better. Also known as Spice Marine! Kill them humans! But there will be no orcs this time. Simply bugs. Though they've already spoiled that there's going to be Chaos Marines. But given that we're doing Captain Titus again, you know, it's kind of expected that Chaos is going to show up because there's some stuff we don't know about him. And his resistances to the warp. What we do know is that despite Leandros' bullshit, Captain Titus is considered a hero of the Ultramarines. Keanu Reeves is starting an Armored Core short film for Amazon. God damn, really? That's interesting. First he avenged the dog, then he heard Wake the Dog Up, and he's like, now I think this is about me. I'm kidding, by the way. I'm just trying to tie Armored Core to John Wick as best I can. If you enjoy boomer shooters, try Bolt Gun. Yeah, I've got it already. I'm about halfway through it. I just got distracted with other stuff afterwards. Am I halfway through it? I'm either halfway or a third of the way. I don't remember. I know I beat the first boss. The first major one. Alright, let's make sure our line is clean before we get started. We should do this every time. I am not seeing some people's comments, so let me... click on live chat. There we go. There it is. Can't believe we're getting an Armored Core film before Gundam. Yeah, that's wild. I wonder whatever happened to that live-action Gundam movie. Like, the director of it seemed pretty stoked. It seemed like he was a big fan. He actually pulled out like these old-ass late 90s, early 2000s high grades. There we go. The line is nice and clean. Let's go. Hey, Ronan, what is up, dude? The dudes who made Cuphead are making a boomer shooter? Really? When you do your breakdown of Ninja Scroll, mind calling it the Naruto vaccine. Oh, dude. That's a pretty good title. I like that one. I might indeed steal that. Thank you. Alright, let's go ahead and get started. So we've got the legs that we're doing for on this one. Just to give you an idea of the size of this mobile suit, this is the foot. This thing is fucking big. So let's hit the fan. Bink. And let's get cracking. Technically, there was a live-action Gundam, but that's not one we talk about. Yeah, we don't... That never happened. That never happened. Lacus is a big booty bitch. Well, I said big booty hoe. She clearly got a Brazilian done. Because I don't remember her being that big in the original. But when I got to that point of the movie, I'm like, well, somebody in it who worked on this film is a person of culture. Making sure we get every angle. Thoughts on Mecha Break? I played the beta for a little bit, and I'm like, let me look into this developer. And they're a Korean developer. I'm like, okay, they're a Korean developer, interesting. Who's the publisher? Tencent. And I'm like, nah, no! No! God damn it! Fucking West Taiwan! So I will not be partaking in Mecha Break anymore. I cannot in good conscience It's the same reason I don't buy games from the Epic Game Store anymore. Because of that. I cannot do it. It just... I'm too much of a red-blooded American, man. I mean, look, I'm wearing the American flag right now. But yeah, I will be in celebration of this video going live, man. I am definitely getting myself some ribeye when I buy groceries. I love a good ribeye. Okay, chat room, favorite cut of steak, go. Let me know. I must know. Goddamn right. Embrace freedom or you will be eradicated. At least that's what Liberty Prime says. Death is a preferable alternative to communism. Alright, we're going to let that dry for a minute, and then we're going to get it painted. Hey, Rocket says, good to see the Seed Freedom video back online. Goddamn right it is. Hold on one second. I had to let out a righteous fart, and I didn't want everybody to hear that. Oh, man. Flat iron steak, easy to work with. Medium rare. Flat iron is, I have to say, of all the cheap steak cuts that are out there, flat iron can be incredible. Flat iron is what I use for my stir fry that I make, because it's like $7 for half a pound. So for beef, that's not that expensive, right? Because beef prices are fucking insane these days. In a call with Serena and others, finishing Trigun with her. Getting culture in her. They gotta get her to watch Perfect Blue. That's the big thing with Serena. She needs to watch Perfect Blue. Hey, Optimus, what's up, dude? Oh my goodness. I'm still waking up, by the way. Like I'm kind of processing some shit. Here, and hit the enter button quick. Yeah, hit enter a little bit early. What is going on, man? We are today is happy times because the Gundam Seed Freedom video is back up. Seed fans are already fucking mauling about it. It's glorious. I fucking love it. Oh, and Optimus, we actually in my server, somebody found one of these people that is like treats me like the he who shall not be named whenever it comes to Gundam. I'm like, ah, this is glorious. I love it. Oh my goodness. Oh, it feels good, man. Show the tweet. Oh, he already saw it. Yeah, it's just like, it made a lot of money. Yeah, so did Shang-Chi. Exactly! Teenage girls, man. They're just teenage girls. Or people that have the palate of teenage girls, which seems to be most of Europe. And the example I use in the video is Halo 5. Halo 5 made a lot of money. Halo 5 fucking sucked. Seed fans are too easy, man. They are some of the dumbest Gundam fans on the planet. Oh my goodness. Is it bad because I watched Seed because I was bored? Dude, everybody watches something weird whenever they get bored, man. It is it is totally natural. I have watched some weird shit when I got bored. I have this whole thing of 3 a.m. anime with me, where I have watched just weird-ass anime at 3 in the morning because there was nothing else to watch. And Netflix used to have, like, weird-ass fucking anime on their service back in the day. And I would watch it and I would be like, what the fuck is going on? One of them was called Rin, Daughters of Maisame or something like that. We'll just call it Rin for the sake of conversation. I watched that, I'm like, what the fuck is this? Oh, hey, she's naked. Cool. What the fuck is this? Like, it was so stupid. It was fucking awful. I'm like, this is so dumb. It was like horny posting the fucking anime. I'm like, good lord. Like, a grown adult made this. Commercial success doesn't make something automatically good. Exactly! Speaking of insufferable fan bases, which is worse, Seed or G-Witch? Oh, God. That is a really good question. Well, let's let the chat put in their opinions. I'm curious what you guys think. God, thinking about it... I might... So my first instinct is to lean towards G-Witch. But I kind of can't, because with G-Witch, like, at the very least, their fan base will, like, the ones that defend it because lesbians, will at least give you a reason that they're defending it. You know, Gundam Seed fans will not tell you what is good about Gundam Seed. It's like they're just, like, sworn to secrecy. It's like, well, what makes it good, dummy? And then they just block you. It's like, just like, if it's so defensible, if it's so great, it's not hard to explain why it's great. I can tell you why Gundam Wing is great. I can tell you why the original Gundam is great. I can tell you why G Gundam is great, and it's not hard to do so. Why can't you tell me what makes Gundam Seed so good, in your opinion? They will not properly defend it, and it's honestly kind of infuriating. So yeah, I would have to say Seed. I would have to say Seed is worse. Or at least has the worst fans. Just because of the virtue that the G-Witch fans will at least defend what they like. The defense might not be good. You know, just saying because lesbians is not really a good defense. But it's something. I mean, so, like, you can go on Twitter, you'll see that some Seed fans are just saying, well, it's great because it's popular. So was NSYNC. NSYNC was not great. I lived through that era of that and the Backstreet Boys and shit like that. It was like the most dime a dozen fucking songs, obviously written by a songwriter. It was commercialized stuff. Saying that Gundam Seed is great is like saying that McDonald's hamburgers are great. Like I said in the video, McDonald's hamburgers make a lot of money. But for those of us who like a good cheeseburger, McDonald's ain't it. If you want something from McDonald's that's halfway decent, get the chicken. Because I will at least give them credit, their chicken strips aren't bad. Neither are their chicken sandwiches. They're not good, they're not great. Because to be honest, if you want a good chicken sandwich, you can go to Popeyes, or you can go to Chick-fil-A. Or KFC has a pretty good one now, too. And then again, that's fast food. You make it at home, it's probably going to be even better if you know what you're doing. I mean, I've got chicken marinating in buttermilk in my fridge right now for chicken strips. And that shit's gonna be fire. It's marinating in buttermilk that has cayenne, like 2 different types of pepper in it, both black pepper and cayenne pepper. Got some Italian herbs and spices in there to give it a little bit more punch. Give it a little bit more depth of flavor. A bit of smoked paprika. Giving that beautiful smoky flavor, because I don't have a smoker. Alright, inner frame is painted. We're going to let that dry and clean the airbrush real quick. Ugh! But yeah, it's just one of those things to me, like, I listen to, I see these sorts of goofy-ass arguments, and I just think to myself, like, and these goofy-ass statements, it's like, dude, you really are teenage girls. Because it literally is the NSYNC argument from when I was a kid. Oh, well, they're selling all these records. They're so popular. You just don't get it. Nyeh. It's like, dude, you're a teenage girl. You are, at that point, you're a teenage girl. Probably flicking your bean to NTR plots and Inuyasha porn. Your nipples probably go hard when you hear someone go, Kagome! Fucking sluts. Can you guys tell I don't really like Gundam Seed very much? I don't know if you've noticed. Uh-oh. We go from that to a deep theological question. Fuck. Alright, Leo. We will change the tone. As a Christian, do you believe we should practice redemption, or should shame and isolation being the answer when it comes to dealing with evil? Alright. We gotta get serious for a bit then. Okay. So, I very much believe that forgiveness is difficult, but ultimately worth it. At the end of the day, you will be wronged by someone. It is an inevitability of life. With that said, forgiveness, the ability to release the burden of the pain that comes with being wronged, I believe does bring us closer to God. And it makes you a more righteous and kind person, which is in line with what God wants from all of us. The one thing that I would caution whenever it comes to forgiveness is do not confuse forgiving with forgetting. I have in my life forgiven some people for some heinous things. And things that have been done to me that, generally speaking, were kind of heartbreaking to happen. To where I couldn't believe that it was the person in question that did it. But I made the decision to forgive them. But I never really forgot that it happened. You know? We're going to let this dry off, but I might hit this inner frame with another coat. Just to shiny it up a little bit more. I've had moments where my siblings have done some stuff that I was none too pleased that they have done. But as time goes on, I forgave them for it. Because I didn't want to hate a member of my family because of a screw-up. Here's a minor one. So this is going to give you an insight into my family. I have... I've mentioned this before, but I'll mention it again. I have 4 sisters. 2 normal sisters, 2 stepsisters. One of my normal sisters, the middle child of the 3 of us. So there's me, then there's the middle sister, and then there's the youngest sister. That are the children of my mother and father. So no step family here, or is involved in this. The middle child, as you would expect, is the spoiled one. The one who basically got gifted everything by mom. We were also not the typical family. We honestly do put the funk in dysfunctional, but the thing with this sister is that she went through a troubled time of her life. She was kind of directionless, didn't know where she was going, what she was doing. Unfortunate stuff, right? And basically, what ended up happening, or one thing that happened was I went through a divorce, as I've mentioned before, which was not fun. But I went through a divorce, and when I came home, I didn't exactly have a whole lot of money. And I was told by my mother, you should lend some of this money to your younger sister, even though we live in a town with next to no job prospects, and on top of that, you only have the money you have left over from this proceeding, from your previous relationship. And I'm like, fine. So I lend her the money. She tells me she's going to pay me back in a couple of weeks. Never pays me back. It has been over 10 years since that happened. She has never paid me back. And needless to say, I'm not expecting the money back anytime soon. But the way that I look at it is that from a forgiveness standpoint, my sister was not in a good place, and she was making a lot of stupid mistakes as a young person. So I forgave her for that. But I will tell you this right fucking now, I will never lend my younger sister money ever again. Fucking never. Not even if she desperately needed it. It's like, look, I know I'm not getting this back. I'm not lending you anything. I'm effectively being forced to give you a gift because you fucked up. So yeah, forgiveness requires grace, and it does bring us closer to God, but never forget what happened, in my opinion. Just have perspective about it. As I have gotten older, and I'm not really that old, I kind of am now. On the internet, I'm ancient. But the one thing that I've learned as time has gone on is that forgiving people is always difficult. But when you do it, it does improve you as a person. You should always learn from the mistakes and the things that happen to you. But yeah, age has given me perspective on why people do things. And with that perspective, it's been easier to forgive. There's a few things that have happened to me in my life that I'm having a hard time in processing the concept of forgiveness. But maybe that'll happen in time, maybe it won't. We'll see what happens. But regardless, I also very much believe that when it comes to things, there always has to be consideration for the fact that we do live on Earth with other people, and there are laws here, and there will always be consequences for breaking those laws and for breaking social faux pas and things of that nature. And I don't think that's going away anytime soon. And I'm not of the opinion it necessarily should, because as a culture, it's a good way to keep bad ideas in check. But at the end of the day, we are all human. And I very much believe that everyone is capable of redemption. It's very rare that you see someone that goes to a place that is so dark and evil that they can't be forgiven for it. Like a despot or something. They're very rare. some people are just fucked. I'm of the opinion that a lot of the people that are just fucked, there's a good number of them, at least from what I've seen in the past, that are the kind of people that revel in what they do and the bad things that they do. And those kinds of people, the reason that that's not going to happen, like you're not going to be in a position where you want to see them redeemed, is because they don't want it. They have no desire to be redeemed. They just want to revel in being whatever the fuck they are. But one thing I will also say is that there are people that do things like that. We call them degens. Some people start off their lives as degens, end up becoming like super religious as they get older, because they realize that, and this is just kind of what I've noticed, is that that sort of lifestyle exists because there's something missing in your life. You know? And it's more sad than anything. A lot of people that I have met that kind of reveled in, like, degeneracy and shit like that, as we would call it. Because I've known some people that are like that in my past. I am a metalhead. Like, I've been around certain circles. A lot of it was just because of something lacking in their life. That when they got it later on, whatever it was they were looking for, suddenly they didn't want that anymore. Suddenly they wanted something very different. Revenge? No. Well, maybe. It depends on the person. I know one girl that I met who was a friend of mine, who, the more I talked to her, the more I realized that the reason that she slept around and was a lot more free with herself sexually, and I use free with air quotes, is because she had never really experienced proper intimacy with someone who really loved her. And it was kind of the story that you've probably heard before. Girl meets boy, girl falls in love with boy, boy ends up being a piece of shit. Yeah, it's a vicious circle. And that is basically what it is. And, like, it's something I've also even realized about myself. I've been pretty open with the fact that I've slept with a lot of women, right? I was thinking about this when my back was having problems, because I was laying down a lot, and when you're just laying there, you have a lot of time to think. I was thinking to myself, like, the reason that ever since I was, like, 27, I want to say. Let me think about that. How old was I when I dated that teacher? I was 26. So this was 12 years ago. I will tell you guys right now, like, first relationship after my divorce, I meet this beautiful girl who lives one city south of me. She's gorgeous. She is one of the kindest people that I've ever met. And a true, genuine, lovely human being. I don't say that often. So this should kind of give you an idea that I found a girl that was incredible. And I was falling in love, man. I didn't know that falling in love was going to be possible after my divorce, but there it was. It was happening. I was in that moment. And I was stoked about it. And then some things happened that caused the relationship to fail. You know, she ended up breaking up with me. Not really because of anything that either of us had done. It was because she had a family member that was very close to her that was diagnosed with Alzheimer's. And she didn't think that I had the proper direction in life to be the kind of stability that she thought she was going to need. And that broke my heart, because I was in the process of getting that stability. I was in the process of improving things, and I just got dumped, and I was very badly hurt by it. Because I was admittedly pushing myself too far, too fast for this girl. Because after that divorce, man, I was fucked up mentally. But I had a nice job. It didn't pay a lot, but I had a nice job working at a hotel. I was happy with it. I was happy with her. We got to have a lot of fun together. You know, it was a great relationship. And it just ended. And every relationship I have been in since then has been a failure. But what I realized is that they all go in a cycle. Is Micah meets girl, Micah likes girl, girl likes Micah, then girl has sex with Micah, then relationship fails. Now, the teacher I dated, we did not have sex. She was a virgin, so I was respecting that. But every girl since then, every relationship has been a failure. And I very much believe that the reasons that they fail is largely because I'm not really looking for a relationship. I'm looking for intimacy. And I am finding it in certain girls that are willing to give it up because they're also looking for intimacy. because they're chasing the same thing that I am. The thing is, a relationship cannot proceed that way, because the things that we need are getting superseded by the things that we want in the moment. And you're not wrong, Mata. You're not wrong. The thing for me is I'm realizing that because it jumps into intimacy from point one instead of like several points down the road, it fucks things up royally. You learned that women are not objects, Micah. Good job. Yeah, it took me a minute, didn't it? Nah, I never really thought women were objects. It's just I very much have been chasing a feeling. And there are ways to temporarily have that feeling without committing to what will give you that feeling until you die, you know? Because I will say this right now, dude. Not just sexually speaking, but there is no intimacy that can compare to marriage. There is none. It is a level of connection with someone that will stay with you forever. And losing that marriage is like having phantom limb. And I'm not being I'm not trying to be like, how do I put this? I'm not trying to be like fancy schmancy or hoity-toity about it either. I mean that just from experience. That I have never experienced something quite like it in my life. And I miss it. I really do. And I hate the fact that it was taken away from me the way that it was. But, on the flip side, I do believe that at some point it could be reattained. But, I'm of the mentality that there are some things with me that need to improve. And there are some things that I need to consider about my own life that I maybe was not considering beforehand. And as those changes and adjustments get made, I'll be in a better place and, actually able to properly be a significant other to someone instead of just, the guy that they have sex with. Because I remembered I was laying there, my back aching, just thinking to myself, I remember one of the things when I was a kid that I noticed that was one of the biggest stereotypical things about a marriage was, how was your day, honey? And then I got married and I realized that there's it's not really as corny as you think. Because when you've been away from somebody that you love very much, and they are your significant other, they're your lover, you actually do get concerned for them, even in moments that you don't really need to be concerned about it. There'd be days when my wife was working that on days that I was not working, and I would be home. And I was always thinking about her. So how was your day? It wasn't just some corny thing. It was true. I legitimately wanted to know, like, was everything okay? Are you okay? Do we need to talk about anything? Do you need to rant about something? Get it off your chest? Can I make you dinner? Stuff like that. Like, and that was when I realized that was the feeling I was chasing. Someone asked me that, I wouldn't know what to do with that. I'd just ignore it. If somebody asks you how your day was, dude, answer them. And then talk about it. Trust me. It will feel good. Because it's nice to know that someone cares. Because this is one thing that is very true about relationships that a lot of people do not realize. And just in general, but like between humans, no one is obligated to give a flying fuck about you. Like, that has become very apparent to me. So the people that do care, man, cherish them. Because if there's one thing that being a content creator and being an entity on the internet has taught me, is that goddamn, man, some people are fucking heartless. But then again, they don't have an obligation to care about me. I'm not their family, I'm not their friend, or anything of the sort. I'm just a guy on the internet. There are some people, because you hold a certain title, that will see you as hostile, even though you're not. And will treat you as hostile, even though you're not. And it is an unfortunate thing. But that is unfortunately life. That is just how it is. I've had people that I have been their boss that treat me as hostile because I am their boss, even though I am by no means doing anything that a bad boss would do. It is simply because I am the authority figure, ergo I am the bad guy. I am the person that they find themselves, that they have set up as their antagonist, even though I'm not really an antagonist. But, again, that's life. And people are not obliged to give a flying fuck about me, my feelings, or anything like that. There is no obligation there. Nor should I expect them to. They have their own priorities. So when it comes to the people that choose to care about you and choose to cherish you, love them with all your heart. Because they don't have to be there. Alright, I'm going to rearrange some things here. Because I'm looking at these pieces, I kind of have an idea of like what I want them to be and what color and blah blah blah. I got a little introspective there for a second. But yeah, it's my, sorry about the dead air. My thing is that ultimately, I think to my entire existence, my whole life, you know, I was raised by a family that did not give birth to me, you know? I'm adopted. So, I was chosen by that family, you know? To be loved and to be raised and all those wonderful things, right? And I've had to realize that you have to learn to appreciate that sort of thing, because they didn't have to pick you, you know? They didn't have to, you know, they didn't have to love you. They had a decision in the matter. And they chose to love you. And they chose to have you as a part of their life. And that, man, is something you should never squander. So, I think that's really all I got to say about that, though. Back to Gundam painting. Because that's what we're here for. I shall cease my philosophizing. For now. Ugh. Goodness. I'm all gassy. Oh, goodness. I will say, though, this is kind of the interesting thing about Gunpla painting for me. It's like, because it is such a zen process, It definitely does make me a bit introspective whenever I do it. But I'm also of the belief that way too many people go through life without ever thinking about things and without ever finding proper perspective on existence. And that is a sad, sad thing. Because self-awareness will do so much for you. I think I got a little clog in the line here. I'm still getting a good paint coat, but it's not really coming out that great. G Gundam is getting a new Dragon Gundam model kit. Yeah, I saw that. It's a P Bandai exclusive, right? I want them to sell really well, so at some point we get master grades of the Shuffle Alliance. That is my hope. Because I've seen those high grades, man, and they look really good. Looking solid. I'm hoping at some point I'll be making more money so I can maybe pick up a few kits from P Bandai. The problem that we've had is just that the local economy is kind of in a bad state. So it's very difficult to get jobs. Especially for me, because it's like, you know, going from working at State Farm to try to work at other places, like, there's a lot of places that just won't look at your application when they see that you left State Farm as a claims guy. And it's like, well, it wasn't for me. Like, thinking back on that job, I really didn't like it very much, you know? What was that site you said sells gunpla parts I posted a while ago? I don't remember. Somebody suggested it to me. I would have to go into my bookmarks and look at it. Give me a minute. I want to go ahead and paint this part really quick. Okay. Let me flip this fan off. Let me have a look and see if I've got it here. I think I bookmarked it. Okay. Let's see here. I think this is it. Yeah, it's called Plamo Kit Bash. I will link it in the chat real quick. This is the one that I was recommended. This is so nice. I'm going to hold on to this email I have. It says, Dear Big Micah C., in accordance with the Digital Millennium Copyright Act, we've completed processing your counter notification. The following videos have been restored unless you've deleted them. The YouTube team. Suck it, Sunrise. Suck it long, suck it hard. Alright. Back to work. Really, I don't hate Sunrise for it. Look, the way I look at it, somebody who works for them probably jumped the gun. What do you think of the beam sword from We of the Justice Company? Oh, you mean the one that ganked from Darth Maul? Actually, that's not really true. The The Beam Naginata from the Gelgoog, if I recall correctly, is the very first ever double-bladed beam sword in science fiction. So if anything, Darth Maul is just a Gelgoog. That's a quote for the tombstone. Darth Maul is a Gelgoog. Micah Curtis, 2024. Oh, the beam out of the head of the last fight. Yeah. That was funny that the Wii got fucking weaponized. Like I said in the video, dude, like Gundam Seed Freedom is hilarious. It's so dumb. But it's the kind of dumb you can at least get some entertainment out of it. But it is a bad movie. Like, there's no excusing it. It is just a poorly written mess. Oh, goodness. Almost done with this set. Then we have to do the other bits and bobs. You liked Inuyasha? Get out. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Look, everybody's got their vices. Everybody's got the thing that they watch or they read that is a guilty pleasure. And then it will get to a point where it stops being so guilty. For example, my guilty pleasure is the Bionic Commando reboot. I fucking love that game. And I will, by the way, never feel ashamed of loving Bionic Commando. Because that game was a lot of fun. Was it overly edgy? Yes. Abso-fucking-lutely. But I don't mind a little edge. I think it can be fun. I really like the Devil May Cry reboot game. Yeah, that's another I know there's a lot of people that have that as their guilty pleasure. Like, because it's not like Ninja Theory really put together a bad game in the sense of it being, like, not fun to play. In fact, there are some elements of DMC Devil May Cry that honestly streamlined the weapon switching process in such a way that honestly I'm a little frustrated that Devil May Cry 5 didn't adopt it. Because just like the fact that you could use the triggers to change your weaponry really easily, like it was so smooth. Whereas with Devil May Cry 5, it uses the same system as 4 and 3, and I don't really feel it's as smooth as DMC's was. But on the flippity flop, the DMC Devil May Cry story is not really that great. It's very edgy. It's very silly. And because so many people reject it, it's sort of what put Ninja Theory on the path downwards. And I tried to like Senwa, Hellblade. When it got to a point where the plot started going into, you have this mentally ill person and you start going in to find your truth, I'm out. I'm out. That is not something you tell a mentally unwell person. Part of what makes someone mentally unwell is they can't distinguish reality from other things. You tell them to find their truth. Well, what if their truth is that everybody is actually a chicken? and they should be eaten, and that's their truth. Fucking stooge. And they said that they consulted with psychiatrists. It's like, no, you fucking didn't. At least not any ones that like were worth their salt, you goofs. You consulted with ones from San Francisco is what you did. They got their psychology degrees from Bob's House O' Learnin', you fucks. Your truth. Fuck off. What you need to really seek is D's nuts, not your truth. Another quote for the headstone. Seek D's nuts. By the way, the Acolyte got canceled. So that's good. Generally speaking, I don't really root for things to, like, fail like that, but... when it's a nepotism project of Harvey Weinstein's former assistant, or as I like to call her, his casting couch scheduler, like, that needed to fail for great justice. Tonight was a beer and wings kind of night. Dude, I am envious. My food after I'm done painting this stuff is going to be Hot Pockets. Hot Pockets and an Orange Crush. Largely because, like, I have, like, meal prep stuff for burritos in my fridge, but I just am not in the mood for burritos. Almost done with the first coat on these. Yo! Holy shit, brain! $50. And I didn't read the message. Hold on a second. Jesus, people be throwing money at me lately. Let me see what he said. Ugh! Yeah. Okay. Let me open a thing. Gotta fix the food situation. Jesus Christ. Thank you, dude. Oh, my goodness. But yeah, Brain, earlier we were talking about, I am going to have to get I'll be getting a ribeye at some point in the near future to celebrate the Gundam Seed video going back up. Though now I have to think to myself of like, okay, how do I want to approach the whatchamacallit? The Stargazer review. The Stargazer review admittedly is not going to be that long. Oh, what character has the most badass evil smile in fiction? For me, it's tied between Alucard and Venom. I don't think anybody tops Venom in that regard, because his face is literally a giant evil smile. Though, aside from Venom, I would actually give it to Hannibal Lecter. Bought beef loin flat meat. Gonna marinate that shit and grill it tomorrow. Nice. Ugh. Alright, let's get cooking. Add a little bit more paint. Alright, that's coat number 1. Now, the big thing that I have right here with these parts that we're doing today is this. So this goes on the outside of the leg to cover the movable thrusters. What I'm thinking of doing is I'm thinking of taping off. You see this ridge here? I'm thinking of taping this off. You know, masking it, and then making this the blood red, and then this the top part the normal red. I think that would look pretty sick. So we're going to hold off on touching it for now. Alright, second coat. I legitimately love this paint color, man. It is gorgeous. I mean, I've mentioned it before that metallic gloss paints are kind of like a poor man's candy paint, but, man, they can look really good if you know what to do with them. Gotta say, I love working in a wholesale club sometimes, so I got 2.5 pounds of buffalo wings for $11. God damn, dude! God, that's one thing I miss. When my best friend Josh lived in town, we used to always go to Sam's Club. And I will say, there is some truth to the idea that it is always wise to buy in bulk and freeze it, if you have the freezer space for it. That's one thing I want to do whenever I get a house, is I want to buy a freezer, one of the big ones, the horizontal ones, and just buy shit in bulk and freeze it. That's lunch for at least 3 days, too, if I share it with people in the house. They eat like mice. Yeah, I know people like that. Dude, ever since my back is healed, my body has been like, feed me! Like, constantly hungry. It's a little annoying.
Which is why after this I'm going to have to... I'm going to have to, you know... start exercising and stuff like that, but... Like, the fact that, like, one thing that admittedly, I didn't mention this in here, but I mentioned it in my Discord server. Which, by the way, for those of you that become channel members and such, that is the way to get in. Alongside if you're a patron or subscribe star user. Because I know there's some people in here that are subscribe star bros, there are some people in here that are members, etc., etc. One thing that I mentioned is that when I felt like my back was fine, I went into the other room and immediately grabbed my big old 35-pound dumbbells and just started doing curls. And I nailed out 16 of them before my arms even started to get tired. Because the reps that I usually do with those dumbbells is 16, 16, 10. Tony Stark at a Gundam, which would he pilot or would he make his own? Oh, he'd make his own. He actually has made one before. As much as I hate to say it, Dan Slott, who I don't like, when he wrote Iron Man, and wrote a very bad Iron Man at that, he actually had Tony Stark make Fing Fang Foom Buster Armor. That was basically the size of a Gundam. So yeah, Tony would just make his own. And it would be based on the Iron Man armor. Granted, to be honest, Tony Stark does not need a Gundam. The Iron Man armor is powerful enough by itself. And I say this as somebody who obviously loves Mobile Suit Gundam. There is a lot of people that completely underestimate how fucking cracked out comic book characters are. Like, to give you an idea, well, I mean, even in the movies, I would argue that Tony's armor is more powerful than a Gundam. When he and Thor destroyed a giant chunk of that city in Age of Ultron, That's easily the size of a colony. And if you notice, it didn't, like, exhaust the suit. Or Thor, for that matter. Like, I remember I was in somebody's chat, I think it was Lolly's chat, and we were talking about, people were asking, like, who is stronger, the Hulk or Goku? And the anime fans were losing their fucking minds over the fact that the Hulk is stronger. And it's like, dude, the Hulk, in one of his lesser strength feats, held a mountain in a squat thrust position. Held it there. In the weakest incarnation of the Hulk, the Joe Fixit Hulk, Grey Hulk, the Hulk smashed an asteroid with one shot, mind you, smashed an asteroid the size, or double the size of Earth, and shattered it. No problem. Comic book characters get insane in regards to how powerful they are. And then people were like, yeah, well, could Batman figure out the Death Note case? And it's like, yeah, it'd be easy. With his mind and his resources, yeah, Batman would figure that out, no problem. Before Light knew it, outside of his bedroom window as he's laughing and eating potato chips, he would see the silhouette of a bat. And it'd be all over. Like, any Batman fan will tell you, it's gonna be this. You're gonna be sitting there cackling in your room. Ah, potato chips. Ah. Then suddenly you hear dun 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 dun, and there's a bat silhouette outside your window, and you're going, why am I hearing boss music? Then Batman takes the bat jet, he flies to Dr. Fate's place, gives him the Death Note, and says, seal this away in another dimension. And Dr. Fate would do it, because you don't fuck with Batman. Didn't Batman once solve a murder case with a time-traveling bullet? Yes, he did. He figured it out before Flash did. Because I made this point in the chat that you got to understand about Batman is that it's not just that Batman is a talented martial artist, because he is. It's not the martial arts that make him scary. It's that he's as smart as he is. And he's not like a super genius either. He's very learned. He understands things. And what he doesn't understand, he has the means of getting the information. The one thing that I would say that makes Batman who he is his wisdom. It's what he does with the information. And his ability to use logic. He is a detective. He is the world's greatest detective. I actually feel bad for a lot of the kids these days. They're like, oh, comic books. No, read manga. Only read manga. Like, dude, you have no idea the cool shit that you're missing out from yesteryear. Yeah, comic books these days are not that good. Except for mine. Mine are good. But, think Batman would rival Yujiro Hanma in a physical contest? No. Would he find a way to beat Yujiro Hanma? Yeah. You gotta keep in mind, Batman found a way to beat Solomon Grundy. And Solomon Grundy is stronger than Yujiro Hanma. Because at the end of the day, Batman is smarter than Yujiro Hanma. And if Batman is smarter than you, he will find a way to beat you. Here's this thing about what's scarier. Pete not telling jokes or Batman smiling. I would argue that when Spider-Man stops telling jokes, you're fucked. That's a bad day. Because one thing that, again, with Spider-Man, probably has the most underrated strength of any superhero in the entirety of Marvel. Peter, in the story arc where Doc Ock takes over Peter's body, he punches the Scorpion and knocks his jaw clean off. Like, completely off. Had to have it surgically put back on. Peter Parker is no joke. It also gives you an idea of how fucking powerful Venom is. That he can tank punches from Peter and just laugh at him. But people don't understand how strong Spider-Man is. Like, let me show you guys something. Do you guys see what he's lifting? That's a subway car. Now, how much does a subway car weigh in New York? In the New York subway, a composite motor car before 1916 weighed around 81,600 pounds. Nowadays, it weighs 82,000 pounds. So how many tons is that? So 82,000 divided by 2,000. Says we're in poundage, right? That's 41 tons. 41 tons he is pressing overhead. And he is fully intent on dumping this on somebody's fucking head. That's petrifying. Spider-Man, when he stops fucking around, is a scary thing. And then, because I gotta talk about Venom... Is there a... Here it is. This is Eddie Brock propping up an entire Ferris wheel when the symbiote is barely still on him. Now, he couldn't hold it like this for very long, but the fact that he could even lift it, brace it and stop it from going anywhere was incredible. To turn it around, Spider-Man had to come in here and help him. But that's nuts. And for those wondering, the girl is Anne Wang. And then this is another one. This is a smaller panel. But this is Venom lifting a bulldozer like it's nothing. So this is like a medium-sized bulldozer, so it's about 50,000 pounds. And he's just chucking it like it's nothing. Like, Venom is fucking scary as well. Both of them are. Run out of ways to describe how terrifying it would be when Spider-Man stops yapping. Yeah, that's... Again, like I've told people, superheroes are fucking cracked out. I remember pissing somebody off once because they were like, yeah, Goku's so strong. There's this point in the anime where he has like 20 tons on each, or 10 tons on each limb. And I walk into the room like, oh, so he's almost as strong as Spider-Man. I was being literal. Spider-Man's scary strong. So when you start looking at characters like Thor, or Superman, or Wonder Woman, or Iron Man, you start to kind of see the scale there, and then it gets a little scary. Oh wow, there's a clog on this needle. Hold on a second. Need to clean it. There we go. Still not getting... Something was causing it to backfire. There we go. Now we're in business. Yeah. Thinking that Goku could beat Superman is a little hilarious. But Goku could totally destroy a planet in Super Saiyan God 375 whatever. Oh, you mean the thing that Superman could do easily. Okay. It's not saying that Goku is a shitty character. I'm not saying that, at least. Other people might. But Superman is Superman. That's why I think sometimes anime and manga fans can get a little bit silly. Just a smidgen. But it's okay, we love you anyway. It was why, like, when somebody, I think it was Serena, posted a video saying, like, such and such the hero is the greatest hero to ever exist in fiction. And I looked at it and I'm like, that's not Captain America. That's not Superman. That's not Spider-Man. Like, greatest hero in fiction? By what fucking metric? Like, he's not that fucking brave. Here's a question for you. What is the level of bravery that it takes to be a guy whose superpower is being smart and stretching, and you say to Galactus's face, you are not taking the Earth? What level of bravery does it take to stand in front of Thanos when he has the Infinity Gauntlet and say that you will not kneel to him? I think that your bullshit Demon King beating guy doesn't fucking compare. I'm sorry. And what was it that Captain America told Thanos? Hold on a second. Right here. Captain America, who, may I remind you, is just an enhanced human. After watching all of the rest of the Avengers die, he says, as long as one man stands against you, Thanos, you'll never be able to claim victory. I'm sorry, but you can't top that. I'm sorry, but, he fought the Demon King and won with all of his buddies. Does not top this, okay? I'm sorry, but kiss my ass. Like, fuck off with that shit. That is the greatest hero ever. Fuck out of here with your Frerin bullshit. Fuck out of here. Fuck out of here. Fucking Frerin. Really? Really, homie? What a joke. The thing about comic books is that like your normal Demon King threat kind of gets toppled every other week. It's not impressive. By the way, not saying don't like Freyrin. I'm not saying that. What I am saying is Captain America is the fucking man. Freedom prevails. Have I ever read the crossover between Cap and Punisher? Which one? There's more than one. Because the thing about... This is the thing that kind of makes superheroes crazy when you think about it. And yes, I do agree with you, Star Storyteller. There are a lot of goofy fucking reboots in comic books. That is very true. That is one major advantage that anime and manga have over mainstream comics. But this is one thing that you kind of have to keep in perspective whenever it comes to comic book characters. Is that these are the kind of people that, like, a lot of anime and manga stories center around one guy interacting with one villain, and that's about it. Or the most of a rogues gallery that they will have is like 5 dudes. Each villain will get an arc, right? Like think of Yu Yu Hakusho, right? Doctor Strange, Captain America, Spider-Man, like all these characters have faced down horrors that would be an entire arc of a manga and beaten them, and then beaten them again, even when all the odds were stacked against them. Like, it's a different level. The one time Punisher shot Cap. Oh, I don't remember that one. But yeah, the thing with comic book characters is like you look at a character like Doctor Doom. And I've compared some characters in anime to Doctor Doom in regards to their ability to plot and to think ahead and use their brains. Like, I've compared Makima to Doctor Doom, and I've compared Dio Brando to Doctor Doom. But are they really on Doctor Doom's level? Not really. Like, Makima's plot in Chainsaw Man. I'm not going to spoil it for those of you who haven't read it. Doctor Doom has done shit like that before. You know? I mean, Doctor Doom stole the Beyonder's powers. Doctor Doom also stole the Silver Surfer's powers. The Silver Surfer, again, could blow up a planet without much of an issue. That's fucking frightening. So could Doctor Doom do what the Gun Devil did when he stole the powers of the Surfer? Abso-fucking-lutely, dude. It would be easy for him. He wouldn't break a sweat. He could destroy the Gun Devil without a problem at that point. Because it's just a different level of power. comic books just, they operate differently. They operate on a different scale than what a lot of anime and manga do. Even My Hero Academia didn't go to like some of the crazy lengths that fucking comic book stories will go to, you know? Okay, let's go ahead to get some of these parts off of the sticks. Let's do a little assembly. And then we're going to close out. So let's take a leg. I'm going to go ahead and turn off the ring light. So we got our leg. And then what we're going to do here is we're going to go ahead and close that down, and close this in. So let's go ahead and grab the other leg as well. And we're going to put as many of these parts on this that we can, and then we're going to call it. Because we've been going for almost 3 hours. I would like to get some food in me. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention. I think this one goes this way. Maybe? Yeah, it's definitely that one. Oh, goodness. Looking good. Good start. Hey, Tally Matt, what is up? What actor do you think would be perfect to play Doctor Doom? I'm curious as to how Robert Downey Jr. is going to portray him. I'm of the opinion that apparently, because John Malkovich is in the new Fantastic Four movie in an undisclosed role. I think he's Doom. Yeah, I'm gonna eat here in a minute. I'm gonna probably order a pizza. Honestly. Um, but yeah, I'm of the opinion that John Malkovich is playing Doctor Doom in that film. And I have a feeling that there's going to be a multiverse of Dooms. And that's part of what is significant about the film Doomsday. Is that we're going to get the Council of Dooms. And I also think that in Secret War, we're going to have the Council of Reeds. So a bunch of different Reed Richardses. Because I'm of the opinion that they're going to be basing a lot of it off of Jonathan Hickman's work. Which is smart, because Jonathan Hickman is the best, comic book writer that Marvel has had in a long time. While Zeb Wells has been fucking up Spider-Man for better or worse, Jonathan Hickman came in and saved it with Ultimate Spider-Man. Which I have not read yet. I still don't know if I want to give Marvel any money. At least not their comics division. But I'll think about it. I'm still sore about the whole Ta-Nehisi Coates thing. I still think that was disgraceful. Granted, they lost money because of him. Not that I had an effect. It's just his comics were so bad that people were like, nah, fuck this. Fuck all that noise. No, thank you. Am I looking at the wrong part? I think I am. Oh, I don't think I painted the ones that I need for the front of this. I'm missing something. G12. Actually, wait, no, this has to be it. Yeah. This goes on the back right here. The manual makes the piece look a lot bigger than it is. And then G10. This goes on the front. Right there. And you have to pull the knee back to get it in properly. Right there. There's the spots of the vents. Him or Michael Keaton? Michael Keaton would have been a decent Doctor Doom. But I think he's great as the Vulture, to be honest with you. His version of the Vulture might be my favorite one, honestly, in all of Spider-Man-dom. But then again, I've never really found the Vulture that interesting. Somewhere there's this one guy who is like the biggest fan of the Vulture out there that's gonna be like, "You motherfucker! You motherfucker! The Vulture's the greatest Spider-Man villain," and da-da-da-da-da. It's like, Jesus Christ, dude. Calm down. It's okay. It's gonna be alright, I swear. I don't hate him. Just not that fond of him. It's okay. Because there's always that... The internet has taught me there's always that one guy. You know? There's always that one guy who's really, really pissed off. Because you didn't... You downplayed something he liked. It's like, calm your titties, man. It's okay. It's going to be alright. You're going to be okay, buddy. I'm grabbing the pieces that I reverse washed. Which came out quite good, as you can see. But anyway, the one person that I really wanted as Doctor Doom was Mads Mikkelsen. So when he got cast as Caecilius in Doctor Strange, I was very depressed. But goddamn, he was amazing as Caecilius. Because he was able to be kind of funny and charming at points, but still be kind of almost a tragic villain. When he's trying to talk Strange into serving Dormammu, when he's been captured after the big fight. I also really liked that play on words. And you are Mr. Doctor. Mr. Doctor. No, it's Strange. Maybe. Who am I to judge? So it's a nice little who's on first kind of joke. I really like stuff like that. Very Abbott and Costello. But yeah, that monologue where he's talking about everyone becoming a part of the one, you can tell that there's a pain behind him that is just, there's a part of him that's aching. because of tragedy that had hit him at some point, and his desire to see the world as it is changed because of what happened to him. And it's all delivered in one monologue. And delivered quite beautifully, in my opinion. But that's Mads Mikkelsen for you, dude. He's just a tremendous actor. So yeah, I wish he was Doctor Doom, but that's okay. I'm just of the opinion that an actor like Mads, who is so fucking talented, using him on a role that early on was a mistake. But on the flip side, I do very much believe that there's still a lot of good actors out there that they can use that will perform quite well in their roles. And I'm also just generally of the opinion that Mads Mikkelsen is like the most underrated actor in all of Hollywood. I really feel like he's never gotten the credit that he probably deserves for being as good as he is. Because I was first introduced to him when he played Les Chiffres in Casino Royale. And it was just such a great villain performance. Especially the torture scene. That moment where he's torturing Bond and he's like, Bond makes the joke that you died scratching my balls, and the chief just goes, I died? And he goes, after I kill you and the girl and get the money back, I can turn myself into your people and they'll welcome me with open arms. Because of what I know. The big picture. And then it kind of dawns on Bond that he is very expendable, but his target isn't. Because his target was supposed to be brought in alive. Great fucking movie. Probably my favorite James Bond film ever, to be honest with you. Wait, Mads Mikkelsen played Admiral Thrawn? When was this? I completely missed that. That was a different guy. I was about to say, like, Mads Mikkelsen played, was in Star Wars. Like, he was in Rogue One as a dude. And it was a very small part. In fact, it was such a small role. I remember just thinking when I saw him in it, I'm like, it's a good movie. I like Rogue One, but that was kind of a waste. Okay, I see what I did wrong here. This is supposed to go on first. Then this. And we got to do this for the other side too. Voice actor was Lars Mikkelsen. Okay, so different guy. Different Deuterino. That looks really good. Mm. Well, there we go. Let's go ahead and put these thrusters on. Then we're going to call it for today. Beautiful. color separation looks fantastic. Put some light on it. The shades of red just work very nicely with one another. And then that reverse wash looks so much better than decals. So who's going to be the next creeper on the podcast segment? I'm not sure yet, man. We will find out. But we are going to go ahead and close this out here. I am going to go get some food and try to enjoy the rest of my evening. It's off to a good start. Ugh. Victory ribeye. Not tonight. I don't have a good way to get to a grocery store quick. So I will get the victory ribeye a different day. I'm going to have victory pizza, which is almost as good. Before we go, I know Lolly usually streams around this time. So I'm going to see about redirecting to him. Yep. There he is. Give me 1 second. Let me get to my dashboard real quick. Okay. All right. So, I will be in Lolly's chat for a bit while I wait on pizza, and we'll redirect to him and hang out, say hello, and we'll go from there. So, everybody have yourselves a great night. I'll see you on Thursday for more painting fun. Until then, have yourselves a good one.